everyone, and welcome to MathSux. This video is going to help you pass the Algebra Common Core Regents. So we're doing this one question at a time. Here is question 31. The temperature inside a cooling unit is measured in degrees Celsius C. Josh wants to find out how cold it is in degrees Fahrenheit F. Solve the formula C equals 5/9 times F minus 32 for F so that Josh can convert Celsius to Fahrenheit. So what we're doing here is manipulating the equation, so we're solving for F. So right now, it's in terms of C. C is equal to 5/9 times F minus 32. So C is in terms of F, but we want to get F in terms of C. So we want F alone on one side of the equal sign. So we're gonna have to bring everything over one by one. So one way to do this right away, we can just divide out this 5/9 here, because it's being multiplied by this whole thing in parentheses here, where F is inside. So we want to just divide this out on both sides. And when we do that, this fraction ends up kind of flipping on its head. So we get 9/5 C is equal to F minus 32. And now, well, F is only attached as 32 here. So in order to get rid of that, we're just going to add 32 to both sides. So our final answer, we get 9/5 C plus 32 is equal to F, to Fahrenheit. And that's our answer. Question number 32. Solve 4W squared plus 12W minus 44 algebraically for W to the nearest hundredth. So when we have to solve algebraically and we see to the nearest hundredth, we know that we might be needing the quadratic formula. So just a reminder about what that formula is. I have a video that goes over the quadratic formula. If you want to practice that more, you can check that out right here in the top right hand corner. But let's go over it here as well. So the formula is x equals negative b plus or minus the square root b squared minus 4ac all over 2a. So where do these a, b's, and c's come from? So that comes from the quadratic equation ax squared plus bx plus c, where in this case our a is equal to 4, our b is equal to 12, and our c is minus 44. So I got that from the equation we're given right here. So I got that from our equation 4w squared plus 12w minus 44. So now that we know our a, b's, and c's, we can just plug this into our formula. So we have x is equal to minus b, so that's minus 12, plus or minus b squared, so 12 squared, minus 4 times a, c. So a is 4, and then c is minus 44. And then this is all over 2 times a, and a is 4. So now we just need to break this down a little bit. So I always like to do everything under the radical first. So we have negative 12 plus or minus, and then let's plug this into our calculator and see what we get. So you know 12 squared is 144, minus 4 times 4 times minus 44. So just be careful with those parentheses and those subtraction signs and those minus signs. So we get radical 848 all over 2 times 4 is 8. And then, let's see, is this a perfect square? No. So let's think about how we can simplify this radical. So let's just play around with some numbers. 848. So we're going to look for perfect squares so we can reduce this. 848 divided by, let's see, 25 is a perfect square. No, that doesn't go perfectly. 848 divided by 16. Okay, that looks good. And 53 can't be broken down anymore. So this can be broken down into radical 16 and radical 53. So we can rewrite this as negative 12 plus or minus. And then now we have radical 16 becomes 4, radical 53, right? Because radical 16 equals 4, and we're left with this radical 53 all over 8. So now let's simplify this again, and this time we can split this up into two equations. So we have negative 12 divided by 8. So both numbers can include 4, right? So both numbers are divisible by 4. So if we divide negative 12 divided by 4, we're going to get negative 3. So we get negative 3 plus radical 53, because this is just going to divide out to get 1. and then we have 8 divided by 4, which gives us 2. And over here we're going to have the same thing. We're dividing everything by 4, negative 3, but this time we have minus. So here we're splitting up our plus and minus. So that plus or minus now becomes 2 different answers. We have negative 3 plus radical 53 over 2, and then we have negative 3 minus radical 53 divided by 2. And here we just a little side note, divided evenly by 4. So that's all we did here, and then broke it up into 2 different equations. So now we have what x is equal to. Remember that's what we're trying to find. This is what x is equal to. And now we could just plug this into our calculator and see what we get. So we have negative 3 plus radical 53, which gives us this missing number, divided by 2, and we get we want the nearest hundredth, so 10th hundredth, so 2.14. And then now let's see what this is equal to, this equation. So we have negative 3 minus radical 53 divided by 2, and then this is equal to negative 5.14. And these are our answers. So if you're looking for more on this test, check out the playlist in the link below. And thanks for stopping by. Happy calculating. Need more practice? Check out MathSux.org for more questions. Link below. Also, don't forget to subscribe. Happy calculating!